You're listening to Big World Network.
Incubus, Season 5, Episode 3. Written and read by Amanda Meuwissen. Ow! Shit! Would you watch what you're doing? Jeez. Nathan grit his teeth as Jim finished replacing the last few stitches that had ripped when he fell. Jim was good at this stuff, usually, but that didn't mean it didn't sting. Stop complaining. You move too much, Jim replied roughly, face close to Nathan's bare chest as he sewed. And you're the one who had to go and pull these things. I'm almost done. Nathan grimaced all the way through to the last stitch. He hated that Jim made it sound like he had done this on purpose. Yeah, 'cause I asked the evil teddy bear with fangs to attack me. Did you see the bite in my leg? He gestured down to where Sasha had finished disinfecting and cleaning the bite, and was now wrapping Nathan's ankle in gauze. In actuality, there weren't any teeth marks, but the creature had torn open Nathan's recently healed bullet wound, and he was still pretty sure teeth had been involved at some point. There was a snicker from the doorway, and Nathan turned his head to glare at Alex. They were in what was often used as the first aid room, for when SEALs came in injured. Alex had gladly offered up supplies and use of the room when Nathan came limping down the stairs, blood soaked through his pant leg and a few places on his t-shirt. Currently, Nathan was kicked back on what had obviously been a dentist chair before it found its new home in the gatehouse. It worked well enough to elevate his leg for Sasha, gave Jim easy access to the stitches, and had an accompanying table to set gauze and supplies, where Nathan's necklace was currently resting while his wounds were treated. Blessedly, Sasha had finished with Nathan's leg, and came up by his head with a fresh dose of pain meds and a glass of water. Nathan took the lot gratefully. Vacation, right? Nathan winked at Sasha as he downed the drugs. Be honest, Sasha smirked back. Did you really expect anything else? Nathan huffed. I'm sore and anxious and really sick of adding insult to injury. Literally. So yeah, I was hoping for peace and quiet for a change. He closed his eyes and sighed, enjoying Jim's gentler touch now as his brother placed clean bandages over his wounds. Don't we deserve a break from the nasty, bitey things in life? I'd give another few stitches for that thing to have actually been a raccoon. What did you say it looked like? Alex asked, walking a little further into the room. Like Gizmo on steroids? Nathan grumbled. He didn't want to open his eyes again just yet. The dentist chair came complete with that annoyingly bright light, and Jim had been using it to better see by. Gizmo? Alex questioned. Like from Gremlins? Cute, furry, Chinese creature that sings. More like a gremlin and an Ewok had a love child and it isn't happy about it, Nathan said. He put a hand over his face and peeked through fingers at Sasha when the incubus laughed. I'm serious. Doesn't make it any less vicious or scary. Did I mention the opposable thumbs? Several times, Jim said. We thought you'd never shut up about it, chimed in Sasha. Nathan grimaced, even though the brunt of the pain had finally started to subside. Okay, you two need to stop tag-teaming me or we're going to have a problem. Tag-teaming you, huh? Echoed Alex. There's an interesting mental picture. Bright light be damned, Nathan's eyes went wide with the horror of imagining that mental picture, against his will, of course, and the next thing he knew, Jim and Sasha were holding him down as he struggled to get out of the chair. It was just a joke, Alex defended, though she was still smirking. Can I at least throw something at her? Nathan grumbled at whichever of the men holding him down would listen, even though he was already calming down and letting them still him. Whatever. Forget it. Can we concentrate on the baby hell beast upstairs? Sorry for the trouble. Honestly, Alex said. I say we leave the thing be until morning. It hasn't attacked before, just now after being disturbed, so I'd be willing to bet it'll stay hidden tonight. I'd rather we had a fresher start on catching it. Nathan wasn't too sure he liked that idea. He doubted he could sleep comfortably, knowing that thing was scurrying about somewhere above his head. Now that he was patched up, though, he gladly accepted the clean shirt Sasha handed him and painstakingly pulled it over his head. It was like starting from square one with his wounds, all tender and recently stitched. Nathan really hated Evil Gizmo right now. "Jim and I can finish the room we were painting," Sasha said to Alex, as he and Jim helped Nathan out of the dentist's chair. "Might as well, so we're finished with it. It's not too late yet." Jim nodded. "Sure, but you," he said pointedly to Nathan, "are going to sit, rest, and do nothing, at least for the rest of tonight." Nathan didn't argue. That's what he'd wanted to do in the first place. As Sasha and Jim disappeared once again to the downstairs room they had been painting, Nathan placed his necklace back where it belonged around his neck, and followed Alex into one of the lounges. "For the record, I really did think it looked like a raccoon when I saw it," she said, helping Nathan situate himself in a cushier recliner, something he only allowed because he really was that sore. "Can you hand me the remote?" Alex grabbed the TV remote from the coffee table and plopped it into Nathan's hand. "Don't get used to this now. Basic cable, with a few extras. Might have ESPN. Nathan flicked the TV on and started surfing. "Not much of a sports guy," he admitted. "I think we get sci-fi," Alex snarked. But Nathan had struck gold already. "I'm good," he said, basking in the genius of airplane as the stewardess with a guitar knocked the sick kid's IV out. Again. Alex left with a chuckle, and Nathan allowed himself to get comfortable. The next thing he knew, Lloyd Bridges' character was upside down sniffing glue, and Nathan was jolting awake. The movie was almost over already. Nathan's chest didn't hurt anymore, save its usual dull ache, and when he put weight on his leg as he got out of the chair, the expected sting didn't come. Praise pain meds, he thought, even if they did make him a little queasy sometimes. When he came out of the downstairs bathroom a few minutes later and wandered into the bar area, he saw Alex hovering by the jukebox, pretending to dust or something equally implausible, while actually peering into the nearby doorway. Nathan looked around her as he approached, and saw that the adjoining room was the one Jim and Sasha were painting. Both of them had at some point removed their shirts, and were speckled in white and blue paint. Nathan had to smirk. "You are so busted," he whispered beside Alex's head, pleased that, even in a weakened state, he had been able to sneak up on her. To her credit, Alex didn't even flinch. "I can admire a job well done," she said without turning. It was more than obvious she wasn't talking about the act of painting. Nathan snorted, but any comeback he might have been preparing fell from his lips as he got pulled into the scene alongside her. Jim was only too happily forgotten, as Nathan focused in on Sasha and hummed. Bare chest, flecks of paint, the usual low-riding jeans that were snug in all the right places, and the peak of tattoo curling up from below Sasha's waistline. Nathan could see the tribal wings, too, flexing over Sasha's shoulder blades. Distantly, Alex's voice filtered into Nathan's hearing, filled with humor. "Is it the tats, or just that he wears his jeans that low?" "Both," Nathan said in a low voice. Alex's snickering brought him back to reality, and he raised an eyebrow at her. "You asked." "Yeah, but the crazy thing is, you had an answer." "So tell me," she said, grinning dangerously now, and backing up a few steps to lean casually against the jukebox. "Have you slept with him yet?" Okay, maybe Nathan wasn't quite as comfortable with being open about all of this as he had thought, especially considering his uncomfortable laugh poured out of him. What?" he managed, blaming the drugs for how much his voice shook. "So that's a yes," Alex nodded to herself. "Guess I have to hand it to him. Sasha has to be good at what he does to get into the pants of a guy like you this quickly." Nathan's defensive shields instantly rose. "Okay, first," he said, still keeping his voice low to avoid alerting the pair in the other room, "if you think months is quick, then you don't know me. And if you think the only thing Sasha's after is a good meal, tasty as I'm sure I am, then you can just—" He trailed. Alex was smiling all self-satisfactorily again. "Damn it. You're bullshitting me, aren't you?" "You make it so easy," she smiled. "Besides, I have to mess with you a little. If you didn't get all defensive, I'd worry you didn't really care about him. Guess you do." Her humor-filled expression turned sincere, and Nathan softened as he realized her true intentions. "So what about you?" he asked. "Any unresolved issues I need to know about between you two?" Alex laughed a little uncomfortably. At least Nathan thought it was uncomfortable. Maybe he was just imagining things, since he was so used to his own uncomfortable laugh. "I hesitate to even call us friends sometimes," she said. "Despite the sociable guy act, he keeps to himself most of the time and is so private, I hardly feel I know him at all." "You know enough to know he's an incubus, and that didn't really answer my question." The smile on Alex's face turned to pure, guarded confidence. "I foresee no love shapes in your future, Nathan. Sasha and I have nothing unresolved." She said that last word slowly, lingering on it like a tease. "Wait," Nathan said, realizing he still wasn't getting a straight answer. "Does that mean you had things resolved once? 'Cause Hey guys!" Alex called into the other room, successfully cutting off any further prodding from Nathan. "How about I grab the lowly slave some drinks? Requests?" Nathan gave Alex's smug smile a glare. "Any kind of soda is fine," Jim called back. "Thanks." "Water for me," said Sasha. "Thanks, Alex." They were painting what was probably the largest room downstairs, other than the bar itself. Sasha was finishing the last of the walls with dusty blue paint, while Jim was on a ladder finishing the ceiling in white. Nathan couldn't help how his eyes strayed to Sasha's low-riding jeans again, and the winding of his tattoos that dipped down beneath the waistline. Then something caught Nathan's eye. Sasha lifted a hand to wipe at his brow, and swayed, like he was dizzy or weakened. Nathan frowned. "Nathan," Alex said, a little impatiently, "I asked if you wanted anything." "I'm fine," Nathan said, too focused on Sasha to care about beverages. "Okay," came Alex's humored reply, assuming Nathan's distractedness was still due to revealed skin. Then she was gone, and Nathan immediately moved into the room, rustling the plastic tarp as he walked over it. "It's all still a little wet, Nathan," Jim called down from his ladder. "Be careful." Nathan barely acknowledged Jim as he passed him, making a beeline for Sasha. The incubus turned as he approached, smiling warmly at him, but Nathan couldn't help noticing how dazed Sasha looked, and not in an entirely normal, human way either. "Jim!" Nathan called over his shoulder. "I'm barring this guy for a while, okay?" He grabbed Sasha by the arm, took the incubus's paintbrush and tossed it down into the tarp, and hauled Sasha out the nearest doorway into an empty hall. Jim's amused reply of, "Didn't need to know that!" followed after them, but Nathan ignored the tease. He wasted no time before pushing Sasha back against the hallway wall. Sasha's initially pleased expression turned wary as Nathan glared at him. "Gabriel's stunt caused more damage than you want to admit, didn't it?" Nathan said plainly. "It drained you, even with all the antidote we used to make you better. Have you been putting off feeding again because I'm hurt?" A brief wave of panic flashed through Sasha's eyes before he pulled on a smile. "It's not that serious, Nate. I'm fine." "Really?" Nathan stepped closer into Sasha's personal space, a hair's breadth left between their bodies, and grazed the fingers of his right hand along the skin at the waistline of Sasha's jeans, all the way around to touch the dip in Sasha's lower back. The incubus growled low in his throat, staring hungrily back at Nathan as his eyes flickered red and then back to blue. "Yeah," Nathan said, pulling his hand away and taking a step back. "You're fine." The lustful haze faded from Sasha's face, replaced by guilt, anguish, and fumbling lips that couldn't seem to form words. "I'm hurt, but I'm not broken," Nathan said. "Or did you fail to notice the full range of motion? Still fully functional over here." "Nate," Sasha sighed, "I know you're not half as comfortable with all of this as you've been pretending. We've only been together once. I don't want to push you. It's not just your wounds. I can feel your emotions, remember? There's still uncertainty there." Nathan couldn't deny that, but he wouldn't just come out and admit it either. "I told Alex the truth, didn't I? I'm trying. And because I want to. Because I like this. All of this. So will you stop being stupid and give me a break from the Lifetime movie of the week here? I want to be with you. The hodgepodge of emotions on Sasha's face melted into amusement, with maybe a little of that lust returning too. I know. Sorry. You're right. I should have told you I'd need to feed sooner than usual after what happened. I didn't want our next time together to be out of obligation. I know it wouldn't be, Sasha said before Nathan could interrupt, which he had been poised to do. But I'm not used to having someone all for me. A flush of warmth filled Nathan's chest, and he wasn't sure how to respond. Sasha, ever attuned to Nathan's emotions, gave a short laugh. Sorry, no more Lifetime movie of the week. I can do that. So, are you saying you want to shoot for something in the higher-up channels tonight? Nathan shivered at the thought, but since he was pleased to have the conversation moved to something other than sentimentality, he offered Sasha a sideways smirk. Cable access only? You're gonna have to be gentle with me, though. I'm all weak and defenseless. He waggled an eyebrow. Sasha grinned. We can call it a night after I'm done painting, he suggested. Half an hour, and I'm all yours. I like that plan, Nathan said. And he did. He really did. He let his eyes drift over Sasha's body, so perfectly speckled in blue and white across his pale chest, with even a little paint on his face and in his hair. He reached out his fingertips to press low against Sasha's stomach. Sasha sucked in a breath and pushed just slightly from the wall, dipping his head with a wide grin before he leaned enough forward to brush their lips together, so feathery light that it made Nathan shiver again. He tried to lean into the kiss to deepen it, his tongue pleading for entrance, with light flicks along Sasha's lips, when there was a sudden clicking noise and a contained giggle from down the hall. Slowly, simultaneously, Nathan and Sasha pulled their heads apart and turned toward those incriminating noises. Not attempting to hide her treachery in the least, Alex stood a few yards away, with her camera phone pointed in their direction. You know, she said, I could post this anywhere online, and I'd probably get more hits than Wikipedia. Give me that phone, Nathan called, uncaring to his wounds or fatigue, as he broke into a run. With Sasha's laughter following after him, he chased a laughing Alex back into the bar area. She was so dead.
You're listening to Big World Network.